I invite the children to come into the room with you now for the word for God's children. Hi, did you recognize me? You know, sometimes it's hard to recognize people nowadays because we're wearing masks so much of the time. This happened to me just this week. I was in the mountains and I passed by some people and I did not even know that they were my neighbors from across the street. We were in the same town in the mountains, in the same hotel, and in the same part of the building at the same exact time, and I didn't know who they were until I heard the dad talk in an Irish accent. This happens to us a lot, even with things that we lose, maybe your socks or your keys, and you look for them where you expect them to be. They might be right in front of you, but you don't see them because you're looking somewhere else. You're expecting them to be somewhere else. And this reminds me of our Bible story today. There were two friends of Jesus who were walking down a road together, talking. They were very, very sad because Jesus had died on the cross. Can you think of a time when you were very, very sad? Maybe someone you knew died or something happened that made you very sad. Well, these men were also very confused and scared because they had heard stories from some women in the group of friends that they had seen Jesus alive. How could that be? So the men were talking about this together, and before long, a stranger came and started walking beside them and listened to them talking, and he talked a little bit with them too. They finally got to the town that they were walking to, called Emmaus, and the men invited the stranger to stay with them and to share a meal with them. And it wasn't until they were eating together that they finally recognized the man. The stranger was Jesus. And they were amazed and excited, and they went and told everybody about it. Isn't that amazing? Well, sometimes when we get really, really sad, we just get kind of into ourselves and we don't notice anything else around us. We can't think of anything else but being sad. And when I'm sad, one thing that helps me is to go outside and to just try to open up all my senses. And you can do this with me. Just close your eyes and listen for the sounds of all the bird songs. Listen for the sound of the wind rustling the trees, or smell, the flowers that are starting to bud on the apple trees and the cherry trees, or feel the warm sun on your cheeks, or feel the cool breeze as it blows past your skin. Or you can open up your eyes and just lean back on the ground, look in a different direction, and look up at the sky and see all the clouds up there and think about all the things they look like. Or at night, you can look up at the stars and the moon. Or you can look down on the ground. It's fun to watch little bugs, like watching an ant carry a little piece of food very slowly across the ground. Or it's fun to see the little buds poking out of the ground from the bulbs that you planted last fall, and they're going to be flowers soon. Or to look inside the flowers and see the beautiful patterns. Every flower has a different pattern. And when I see all these beautiful things and feel all these beautiful things, it makes me feel God's presence with me. I know that I'm not alone. I also feel God's presence when I snuggle up and with my dog, and his warm fur cuddles up to me and he licks me. Or if a friend calls me on the phone just because they happen to be thinking of me. Or if a friend sends me a card, if they know I'm feeling bad, they just send me a card. Well, we can do this for people too. And in this story, Jesus was with those guys the whole time. They were not alone. But then they, with their loving hearts, reached out to someone they thought was a stranger, and they invited him to come stay with them and eat with them. When we are kind and loving to other people, we're showing God's love to other people. We're being Christ to other people. So Christ is all around us, and he's also within us. So next time you take a walk, try to notice some new things. Look in some new places that you usually don't. Open up your eyes and your ears and your nose and your mouth and your mind and your heart. And remember that Christ is always with you. He's in front of you. He's behind you. He's above you. He's below you. He's to your left, to your right. He's inside you, and he comes out from you.